Well, I think we took another step. We took a kind of a small step, though. We what I was most excited about is we've really challenged Josh and Cassius in the last two games. The turnovers have been down. You have 16 assists and 2 turnovers with your point guards is phenomenal. But Cassius' defense, Josh's defense was a difference early in the game. And, of course, Tom did an unbelievable job. I don't know what Santiago ended up 5 for 15, but he's a good player. And I thought we did a great job on him. I didn't think we guarded Donlin with a fishnet because we did a poor job on him. But other than that, we rebounded a little better. 2 negatives where we didn't shoot it well from the 3, and I can't believe the shots that McQuaid and Harris are getting, and they're not making them. They're making them in practice. We didn't get to the line much, but it's kind of the way they played, and who we had in the game. I mean, when Kenny got in foul trouble, and we were playing guards at the 4, and that wasn't real healthy. And yet we had to do what we had to do. Kenny did not play very well. He did not play very cerebral, which is surprising for him. And we just got to get a little more out of that position. I started a different lineup the second half, and I think it helped some. And yet Nick has still got to be able to play more than 3-4 minutes at a stretch. So that'll be the emphasis here in the next 2 weeks to get his tail in better shape. And same with Josh. I thought did some great things, but got tired at times. So whenever you have 28 assists on 34 baskets, you got to feel good about your team. You out-rebound a team by 15. You don't turn it over a ton. There are more goods than bads. Questions?
Tom, that was the most comfortable I've seen Cassius look maybe since the state finals. Did you notice that, especially offensively, just seeing the game on the strings?
He looked comfortable on the offensive end, and I looked comfortable when he was on the defensive end. That's what really made the day. I just thought he did some good things. I really pleased with him. And him and Tom are working so well together, I can play them together some. But, yeah, I'd agree with you. I think he looked comfortable, which, I think what he's doing, he's figuring it out. The game's slowing down a little bit. And but honestly, he played harder defensively today than I've seen him play, and that's encouraging.
Coach, one of the things that you've talked about with all the travel is right here, the lack of practice time, and now you're getting that. And you challenged Josh Langford. He's coming off the injury. He gets 15 points in 19 minutes. Can you take us through his development, what practice has meant to him, and just where he's at in terms of that?
Well, practice means a lot to all of them, to be honest with you, and the freshmen, of course, more. But even the upperclassmen, I'm seeing a different comfort level, a little better understanding. But Josh and Cassius, and really Nick has been playing. I wasn't happy with Nick because I didn't think he had the same effort. You go 1 for 6 from the line, but he almost has a double-double still. So somewhere in there's a silver lining. So I think those freshmen, the more we can practice, the better off they're going to be. I think the problem is we got to get our sophomore and senior. We got to get those guys going. But practice time is going to help everybody, and we've had a little more of it, but a long way to go yet to really feel like we're really accomplishing anything. 2 days of practice doesn't accomplish, but we are making some progress in it, and I think the more we can practice, you have to take a day off tomorrow, so the NCAA is happy, and then we do get 2 days? 2 days prep, it's good. It's good. It's going to help every time we get some more time to work on us and the more time to work on our opponent. And some of the coverages did a better job at times. We're still, I think the one thing I've noticed, I think as a team we're not in great shape. And then I sit there and say, well, how could you be? You're not practicing. So that's another area that I feel like it's probably not their fault, but we got to get in better shape. Yeah, we got some guys looking tired out there to me.
Tom, I guess with Cassius, it seemed in the second half he was starting to get into and penetrate a little bit more and kind of facilitate for some guys. I mean, how critical is that for you guys right now to kind of go inside out like that with him off the ball or with Nick getting the ball in the post?
Well, I think that's really important for us because we don't have a lot of other post people that can do it. So Cassius getting in there, and the difference between him and Tom can get in there, but he doesn't not yet make as good of decisions. Cassius made some great decisions, and really got some guys some open shots. It's kind of a shame he had 9 assists. That should have been 10 or 11 or 12 if some guys would have hit a couple shots. So I told him when he came out, hey, you better get on your boys, because that's how you make your hay is with those assists. But he is feeling more comfortable, but he's been better comfort level offensively for a couple games. He makes a stride like that defensively, and it changes a lot of things.
Kind of following it a little bit, just with the lack of size. And did you ever expect to see a game where Matt Van Dyke would lead you in rebounding?
No, I'm just trying to figure out if that's good news or bad news. I mean, Matt did do a good job on that. He didn't, cover as well, but God, we put that kid in a tough situation, and especially when Kenny got in foul trouble and Kyle was struggling a little bit, which is the other guy we got to get playing a little better, guarding a little better. And so, no, I can't say that it was not in my summer laying at the beach looking at my iPad thought process at all. But Shazam, it happened.
Tom, you weren't happy with the play of your wings the other night. A few of them had double figures tonight. I know Aaron didn't shoot particularly well, but as a group, did they take a step forward?
Yeah, step, like your son, baby step. 4 for 12 and 6 for, they're 10 for 26 and 4 for 15 from the three. That's part of their job. And defense was okay. When I got 2 freshmen playing better defense than a sophomore and a senior, though, that's not too settling for me right now. So we're going to keep hammering away. And I'm not giving in to any of them right now. We got a lot of work to do, and we're going to work.
Tom, I know they didn't shoot as well, but one of your gripes the other day was that they're not taking the shots, or Aaron's put on the floor too much. I know one time you were hollering at McQuaid, but overall, did you see a little bit better that tonight, that he was at least willing to take the shot?
One time he took a bad shot. One time. 3 other times he passed up. He passes up a shot and so throws it to Tom. They're just, but you're right. So one bad shot in the Izzo evaluation out of 26. So I guess that is a positive. They got 14 and 12. We pushed the ball better. We got it up and down the court. And if nobody will ever lose a minute of playing time if there's 1 or 2 shots out of 26, But so I guess Cassius and Josh play better there. Those guys look for their shots a little bit better. So yeah, that's encouraging. Maybe whatever I stress, they do sometimes.
Me, Jack, and Larry were talking during the game about
That ought to be interesting.
Josh, and very times it just seemed like he was laboring to run an explosion. Tom, how much legitimate, honest pain is that kid playing?
None, Josh, none. Now we're none that I know of. You can ask him because I don't.
Do you see though where he's running different?
Oh yeah, because he's not in good shape. I don't think he's in any pain, Hondo, right now. There's nothing wrong with his leg. He really didn't do anything for the 3 weeks he was out, and then he hasn't done as much for the 4 weeks that we were traveling. He wasn't getting any work, and you go 6-7 weeks, and you're just not in as good a shape. But you are right. He's laboring when he runs, but it's not the injury this time.
Tom, during the broadcast, Tim McCormick actually said he got a text from Martine Cleve saying that, quote, Cassius will be a better leader than me. I'm curious, do you see any that's a tall order, I know. Do you see any similarity between Cassius and Martine? And also a two-parter, have you talked to Martine in the result of what took place in the courtroom this week?
Well, I'd bet $1 million. You already know I did that. like right from practice, to be honest with you. When I found out, that was one thing. Mateen's got to get down here a little more right now because Cassius is getting better. But, the leadership things is something that, we're going to keep hammering on. Because if he does get that, he's going to be a hell of a player. I think he's a very good player now, but I think a little more defensive intensity and a little more leadership ability. But he took a big step tonight because I challenged him a couple of huddles of, can you go out there now? You're a little tired. Can you play good defense now? Can you lead this team? Can you run us? And one time they went zone and he made a call and I thought they were in man and I made a different call and he yelled at me, so it was kind of good. I kind of enjoy that stuff personally, but so that would help, but there are a lot of great leaders here, but there are two guys that, boy, if somebody beats the Magics and Mateens, then I will definitely give them that, but that ain't happening in a year, I'll tell you that. Those guys, Mateen Cleaves was one of the greatest leaders I've ever been around.
Tom, when you have a night like Josh Langford had tonight when he was 6 for 8, I guess in the future, will you try to go out of your way to get him more shots? Because it seemed like he was filling up every basket he was shooting.
Boy, you guys, including you, Rico, you should know better. I mean, they have one good game, one good game. I mean, it's I'm going to try to get him more shots. I'm trying to get him more playing time. I'm going to try to get him in better shape. But as I told my staff on the bench, the minute you hang your hat on something, like Nick was playing so good, he played okay tonight, and his stats are better than he played. And we got to keep hammering away, but in our society, one good game, one good play, and we're ready to canonize guys, the best leaders, the best shooters, the best this, the best that. We got a long, long way to go. And that's an okay basketball team. I think they're very well coached. They run some nice stuff. But, I mean, we got such a long way to go. What I'd like to do is get us in a rotation. Now I know I got Josh coming off the bench. And second half, and I didn't have him coming off the bench, and that could happen too. But, he's got to play within himself. He's got to run better, as you guys alluded to, if he's going to be out there. He's got to rebound a little better. I don't know how many he got tonight, but that kid got 2. Those are the kind of stats that if he's going to be any kind of great player, he's going to improve those enormously because he has the talent to do it. And it's not that he's loafing. I just don't think he's in the shape to do it yet.
Tom, did you see them over here? Did you see them adjusting better without Miles tonight as compared to the other night?
I don't know if they did, but I didn't. I can't stand talking to him on the bench. It's one of the worst things I've done. But Miles was great on the bench. Miles is, hey, coach, they're not jumping to the ball. Hey, coach. So I asked him in the locker room. I said, Miles, tell the guys what you're telling me all night long. He says, well, you guys weren't jumping the ball a couple of times. And so I called him a wimp because he didn't call him out, But Miles was, he's learning, but a little more comfortable. I don't know. That, the 3 and 4 spot or wherever we play him, we weren't very solid there tonight. I think the other guys maybe did a decent job, but those guys got a lot of work to do in the next 3, 4, 5, 6 days.
You kind of alluded to trying to find that rotation. I mean, obviously when Miles comes back, it disrupts things a little bit. We saw it with Denzel last year when he came back. I guess how much does this stretch help you kind of maybe figure out what you need to do with those guys?
Yeah, I think that, you always look for a silver lining through a dark cloud, and I think there are some. Miles and I were talking about it before the game, and if guys get better and guys, where they can give you 10 minutes a game, that's better. So I don't think it's going to help us from a standpoint of this would have been a good time for Miles to be getting more practice time and better. But of all the people that probably will be able to adjust to it faster, we're going to get him in the best shape we can. He'll be on that bike thing, and he'll be in the pool, and he'll be swimming like a fish. He'll be doing whatever we got to do to get him in shape, because we got to make sure that that's one thing that we don't lose. Other than that, I think Miles will pick up. He's pretty smart. I do think he's learning on the bench, and that's what's kind of cool. I told him that's what I got to give you. I can't help you become a better player physically, but I can help you become a better player mentally in this period while you're out. And he's bought into that hook, line, and sinker, so that's been positive.
It seems like for those other guys, they don't have a chance now to stand around and watch Miles play.
Yeah, there's a little bit of truth to that, but it'll help us. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's as much fun. I kind of like watching him play personally, but you even smiled this time, huh? Yeah, that's great. Well, guys, we're just going to keep on trying to move forward. We did make some progress, and hopefully, Youngstown, I think, will be a pretty good basketball team, especially when they get everybody back. And and whether we will, I like the progress we made tonight, and especially, I think if I looked at all the things I liked, and I told my team this, when you get after somebody for things that they did poorly, and they respond, that is a big step in itself. And I thought we had a couple of young guys that really responded tonight. So I'm proud of them, happy for them, and yet going to keep chopping away. Thanks.
He got it.